Hey everybody, it's Brian House here for Housework, and today we're going to be talking about drill bits. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty of it. I have this little Plano box here full of used and abused drill bits that I've collected over the years. In fact, I think some of these are my father's drill bits. And at some point, I think we all thought that we would do something with them. And, you know, they just kind of started piling up. And this year, I went to buy yet another box of drill bits, and I don't buy the best drill bits. In fact, you know, this is probably a common sight in your shop. This is the titanium-coated drill bits from my favorite tool store, Harbor Freight. And I think I got tired of buying cheap bits because, you know, this is my fault. I shouldn't be buying cheap bits, but I do. They're just so tempting. They go on sale for like $10. You can get all these bits. And yet, the first time I use one, of course, they snap and break. And then, you know, I sometimes feel really burned after I come out of Harbor Freight because the deals look so great. And then it's a lot of times it's junk. Anyhow, the drill bits I think are a decent deal if you can get them on sale. Sometimes they go on sale for like $10 or $11. And if you have a means to sharpen them, it's a really good deal because once they break down a little bit, you can actually put them in a device like this one and you can bring them back to life. Which leads me to this purchase. This is a Drill Doctor 750X. I bought it on Amazon. I read and read all these different reviews and everything. In fact, I almost bought a drill bit sharpener at Harbor Freight. And then I thought about that for a second and went, yeah, that's not something I want to buy at Harbor Freight. I think I want to buy that and do my research first. So I went ahead and did it. It was a little over $100, I think. And today we're actually going to take some of these drill bits, the titanium coated ones and a couple of the carbide ones, straight up carbide, and we're going to run them through the Drill Doctor and we're going to test them on the mill just to see how sharp they are. And we are also going to take a broken drill bit like this one and we are going to see if we can make it actually drill into something. Anyhow, let's get started. Let's load this thing up. Now, I'm not going to show you all the details on how to get this thing loaded up and everything like that. You can read the instructions. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Initially, I thought, you know, I'm buying this thing and it's going to be difficult to use. I'm going to need a degree in advanced trigonometry and analytic geometry or something, but you really don't need that. And again, I'm not going to go through the process of this. I'm just going to kind of load it up and give you a quick demonstration of how quick and easy. Like once you do it one time, it's pretty amazing how quick you can load it up and get it functional. All right, so that's it. That's mounted into the bit. There's a little bit of a thing to it. You can look at the manual, figure it out, turn it on. All right, let's take a gander at that. I am stupid amazed at how sharp that looks. Now, we don't know for sure if it's sharp or not, but it sure does look sharp. When it went in there, it was dull looking. So, all right, that's one. Take another look at this guy. This guy is blunt. It looks like it was used to drill into concrete or something. That thing is terrible. So, yeah. Let's give this a shot. Load it up into our chuck, what they call a chuck. And then you got your depth gauge here. Open this up, push it in, twist the bit until it's the flat in there. Tighten this beast, pull it out, turn it on and grind. That one was really bad. It looks sharp now. Wow. All right, let's do one of these carbide bits. Now we've managed to sharpen 4 drill bits in the matter of about 5 minutes 2 titanium coated bits from Harbor Freight and 2 DeWalt carbide bits. They look awful sharp. They look pretty nice. Obviously they are used. You can tell by the wear and tear on the outside of the bit, but for the most part they look really sharp and they look like they'll cut. But now we got to run them through their paces and put them through some high carbon steel back on the mill. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to run all 4 of these drill bits through this 3/16 inch thick piece of annealed A2 high carbon steel. If you don't know what A2 is a very useful steel once it's hardened. Even in its annealed state though, it is very, very tough. So these bits are definitely going to be put through their paces. I think I'm going to start with the smallest bit. This is a 3/64. We're going to start with this guy. Start small, work our way up. Now, one of the things I'm looking for when I'm drilling into steel to determine how sharp that bit is what the metal looks like as it's coming off of the steel itself. So if you can get a nice curlicue like that, then you know that your bit is probably really sharp. Also, you want to look at the hole itself. If it's mushrooming out on the outside, it is probably dull. And if you flip the steel over and look at your exit wound and you notice that the steel is mushroomed out or pushed out and you've got a thin layer of steel on the backside that's protruding that steel, you know, hey, it's a dull bit. So anyhow, we're going to see what we got. This is the 3/64 inch bit. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on it and see what we got. All right, it cut really nice. Didn't get a ton of these curlicues though, but it cut really nice. You can take a look at the hole close up there. You'll see we have very little mushrooming coming out of the top. It looks very clean, very, very nice. Just going to take a quick look at the bit itself. Still looks pretty good. All right, let's move over to a 1/4 inch titanium coated bit. Doesn't look too bad. Let's take a look at the bit. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. Let's go over to the carbide. This is a 5/16. This is a big hole to be drilling into high carbon steel without a pilot hole, but we have to even the playing field. Okay, that actually felt really nice going through. The shavings are actually not bad, and not a lot of heat was generated, and I don't see a ridge around that. There's a little bit of a ridge around that hole, but I'd say overall that cut through really nice. And as you can see here, the bit itself took no damage. Looks really nice. All right, now let's do a 5/16 titanium. I'll do it right next to it. Yeah, that doesn't want to cut at all. I mean, it will, I think, if I force it. But yeah, something's up with that. Maybe this bit got heated up at one time. Or perhaps carbide's just a little bit better. But yeah, that, thumbs down. Okay, I took it back over to the drill doctor and ran it through again. Maybe I just did something wrong. I'm gonna give this another shot. It's hard for me to believe that that won't cut through there. Yep. All right, so yeah, the first time I ran it through, I must have done something wrong because it's a nice, good, clean cut. In fact, that cut through nicer than the carbide did, so I guess it does pay to take your time with it. So overall, I am really impressed with those drill bits. They came out of the Drill Doctor pretty good. The last one that I tried to use, which was the 5/16 titanium, initially I had trouble with it, and then I just came back here to the Drill Doctors and ran it through it again, and it seemed to work really nicely after the second time through it. So if you fail the first time, go back to the Drill Doctor, set it up again, and maybe it was just an oversight or something along those lines. As far as the steel goes, they cut really nicely and cleanly through. A couple of them are a little wobbly. I don't know. I mean, they're not perfect. Probably have to put a countersink or something on there to kind of just really determine what that cut looks like. It looks like a pretty decent, clean cut. You know, they are cheap drill bits, but yeah, overall I'm impressed. So now I'm going to take this completely broken drill bit. This is the one that I showed you in the beginning of the video that's just absolutely snapped in half. And we're going to run this guy through and just see if we can even sharpen this thing at all. Get in there and let's run it through. I mean, it looks like a drill bit. I don't think that's right, but I'm gonna reposition it again. It's not even. Oh man, it looks really nice. It's a short drill bit now. I don't know. Let's go see if it'll cut. It looks pretty decent. That thing was completely snapped off before, so we shall see. Wow. Completely broken drill bit brought back from the dead. Well, that Drill Doctor is not going back to Amazon, I can tell you that. Look at how clean that cut is too. And some nice curly cues. Man, it's great. I'm impressed. Well, there you have it. I am really, really impressed with this little device. I know you can do this by hand. A lot of people will take a pair of pliers or a pair of vice grips and then go up to a bench grinder and try to get the right angle. And if you got good eyes and a good steady hand, you could probably do it by hand without this little guy. But this really takes all the guesswork out of it. Once you've read the instructions, done a couple of them, you could just churn and burn. You could probably go through this whole box of dull drill bits in probably an hour and have a brand new set. So yeah. This is definitely staying in my workshop. In fact, I need to find a home for it so I can just have it out at all times, probably over there by the drill and the drill press and the mill. So I took a quick minute. I went through this set that I got from Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. Looked at all the different sizes that I was missing because I did break a few of these. And I went ahead and sharpened what I could out of this bin and made this now a complete set. I went all the way down to 7/64ths, which is a really small bit. This is a really tiny bit, and it sharpened it just fine. So yeah, this is a really cool purchase, really cool thing. So now I got a whole set. I can break and dull them up some more. There are links down in the description that will take you to Amazon where I've done my research and found the best deal on this. It's also a free way to support my channel. If you go there and you purchase one of these through that link, I get a small little tiny commission from that, and it supports my channel and my work here in this workshop. Also, I have a Patreon page. You can support me for as little as $1 a month. If you love my content, that would be greatly appreciated. If you got something out of today's video, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you get a notification every time I upload something to YouTube. Again, as always, I read and respond to all of the comments, so if you've got something you want to ask me, I'd love to hear about it, hear about your experience with this guy. If you've got one and you've maybe had a good or bad experience with it, I'd like to hear that as well. Thanks again, guys. My name is Brian House, and this has been Housework.